Tonight on DFF, we learn the history behind two of the biggest product failures of all time. Why did Coke try to change this recipe after nearly 100 years? And later, we learn the history of how the Dreamcast sank the Sega console business for good. Tonight, biggest product fails. New Coke and Dreamcast gets deep, fat, fried.
You know what product really failed? The Scotty. You know, fire is kind of the most successful product of all time. One of the earliest products, too.
When you said the show was about failures, I thought you were talking about TJ Kirk's streaming career.
What the fuck? What the fuck? What's happening here? What did I do? What did I fucking do?
Nothing.
Why did New Coke become a thing? We have a little clip here to explain why.
Explain.
Which no one knew at the time was they conducted their own blind taste tests, and they were horrified.
They're talking about Coke here.
Find that Pepsi actually did beat Coke a little bit more than half the time in these blind taste tests, and they thought, this can't be. I mean, for a company like Coca-Cola, which has this huge pride, we are the best. You know, there's no question that Coca-Cola is superior to this upstart, this pipsqueak, Pepsi. For them to find that these blind taste tests revealed this was really shocking. And so they started to play around with the formula.
See, the problem here is that it doesn't really matter what happens in a blind taste test because people don't buy products blind.
Right.
No,
you know?
Of course not.
They buy the label.
Yeah. And everyone, yeah, it's true. Coke actually gets its ass kicked in a lot of blind taste tests, not just against Pepsi, but like against off-brand shit. Like in a blind taste test, most people, like Coke is usually towards the bottom, but it doesn't matter because it's got that fucking pretty fucking Coke logo and shit.
Well, Coke was also the established player. Like Diet Pepsi came out in the 60s. And the reason New Coke came about was because in the 80s, I think 82, Diet Coke was now becoming this thing. I was like, okay, we're going to launch Diet Coke. And then they were like, hey, let's play around with this formula. It's like, oh, there's a sweeter version of Coke. And people say they prefer it to Pepsi. So it's like kind of like this idea begins to form like, shit. Pepsi has this big marketing campaign, like the Pepsi Challenge. Like, take the Pepsi Challenge. Oh, I prefer Pepsi. Oh, it tastes so much better. And Coke had been losing market share, so they're starting to get a little nervous. They're going, wait a minute. We don't necessarily have this in the bag anymore. We can't just beat Coke and win.
So what was the Pepsi challenge? That was basically just them challenging people to do this blind taste test themselves.
They would set, it was a lot of advertisements. It's like, okay, we'll set up a thing where it's like you go and there's a thing of Coke and there's a thing of Pepsi and it's like, taste them both. Which one do you prefer? I prefer the taste of this one. I'm a Coke drinker. Coke is better. How'd you feel about, product A? It was pretty good. How about product B? I really prefer that. Did you know you prefer Pepsi to Coke? Huh, I took the Pepsi challenge.
I wonder how many of those people actually switched to Pepsi and how many were just like, I'm going back to Coke.
0.0.
Because you know what? At the end of the day, maybe when you don't know it's Coke, you don't realize how good it is. But once you see that fucking Coke label on that motherfucker and you take a sip, you're like, oh, wait, actually, now that I'm no longer blind, I see the truth.
And we'll learn a lot more about that as we go. So, although Coca-Cola remained the world's best-selling soft drink, rival Pepsi continued to gain market share in the 70s and early 80s. Thanks in part to its aggressive, as we see here, Pepsi Challenge campaign, in which consumers take blind taste tests. They just can't believe it. It's like Pepsi saying they're better than us. Consumers are saying they're better than us. The market share is going now. What the fuck are we going to do? Since its introduction in 1886, Coca-Cola's secret recipe, it's been changed several times, such as when changing sweeteners from cane sugar to beet sugar to corn syrup. But pretty much Coke the taste has remained the same. And we've already covered this. It's basically just saying how Coke, when they were developing Diet Coke, came up with this new version of Coke. So Coke comes up with a marketing scheme. They're like, you know what? We got to do something. We got to shake this up. So on April 23rd, 1985.
You shouldn't shake it up because then it'll fizz everywhere.
TJ.
Gotta fucking use the old noggin on that one, Scotty. Come on.
1985, Coca-Cola Company chairman and CEO Roberto Gonzuete stepped before the press gathered at New York's Lincoln Center to introduce the new formula, which he declared to be smoother, rounder, yet bolder, a more harmonious flavor.
What was the second adjective? Smoother, and then what? Louder?
Rounder.
Rounder?
Rounder. And yet bolder.
Rounder?
A more harmonious flavor.
Okay, Sky, hold on. I want you to just do me a favor. Explain to me what, in terms of like a beverage, rounder means.
Nothing. This is like
a fluff word.
This is like sommeliers, dude. You know how like they'll take
Rich,
like a
full body.
Yeah, like a wine expert, and they'll pour him like some boxed wine, but they'll tell him it's like Chateaubriand 1893, and he'll be like, the nuttiness, oh yes, the earthy tones of 100 years in an oak cask, oh yes, and then you tell him, nah, dude, that's fucking Carlo Rossi bagged wine. It's bullshit.
Yeah, it's like Australia's barefoot, which you get for like $5 a bottle.
Dude, I went through the fucking indoctrination process of one of these types of bullshit, which is coffee tasting, which is like, oh yes, this one's chocolatey and this one is nutty. You know, it's bullshit. It all tastes like fucking coffee. Just letting you know.
And now they come out with a new version that's even better. Everyone says it's better. They say it's better. But the people have to believe, TJ.
Oh, cool. They actually did a commercial with Max.
Oop. Audio's low.
Crank that shit up, stupid.
How's that sound?
I mean,
It's still kind of low, but whatever. So that's as good as it gets. It's as good as it gets. Whatever.
That's the editor's problem.
Fix it, editor. Fix it.
The prophecy is true.
Is this a private party or can any store crash? So, new Coke is catching on. The taste is better and newer than. You said the P word. So, what I want to know is, if you're drinking Coke, who's drinking Pepsi? If you can't beat it, catch the wave. Coke.
Wow, that reeked of desperation.
It kind of did.
Man, I'm feeling like everything that Coke did to market this was just desperate and like, you know, like it kind of feels like a dude trying to get back with his ex or some shit, you know?
Yeah.
Introducing the new taste of Coca-Cola, the best Coca-Cola ever. That's all I'm going to say. In fact, that's all I have to say. No more words. This stuff is great. I'm sorry. Really, I'm sorry. Whew.
Well, I'm just going to say that this is like probably the worst marketing campaign. I mean, maybe not the worst I've ever seen, but like I'm shocked that Coke did this, honestly. Because like even in the context of like the time, this like low key, like, ooh, drink new Coke is so good. Look, it's so good. Oh, I love it. Oh, Bill Cosby love new Coke. So tasty and delicious and good. Can you just imagine him just like spitting it out after the fucking camera's like, get this shit out of my mouth. Oh. Fucking God,
dude. Bill Cosby was God though at the time this was made. Like
that's
in the mid '80s. Like his word was gold, dude. If Bill Cosby was sipping on your shit and overacting like this, you know it was good.
Like, yeah, I'll take a Coke. They're like, Pepsi, okay? And you're like, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's not.
I want a Coke.
I mean, it's really not okay, I guess. But, you know, and I'll drink it, whatever. Fuck it. And then you drink the Pepsi and you're like, all right. I'm sad, but okay.
If I've got to deal with it, I've got to deal with it.
I wish they just wouldn't tell me, you know? Just be like, just bring me the fucking Pepsi, you know? Just be like, yeah, we got Coke. Here you go. This Coke tastes a little off. Whatever.
But you said this was about product fails, Scotty. What we're looking at right here, it's one of the finest gaming machines ever created.
Salty Paul.
By one of the most preeminent game manufacturers ever, Sega.
Did you own a Dreamcast, Paul?
I did not. I did, however, own. I won't. Whatever. I was a poor kid. I had a friend that had a Dreamcast, and we played endless hours.
You were 19. You were 19 while you were a kid.
Well, endless hours of Soul Calibur, dude.
Oh,
Endless
fair
hours
enough.
of Soul Calibur. I played it with my friends. I had a friend that would bring his Dreamcast over, hook it up, Soul Calibur all day. It was worth owning just for Soul Calibur.
I remember the Dreamcast. I remember I was like thinking about getting one, but everyone was just like, "Yeah, just wait for the PlayStation. It's gonna be better." Like, oh, okay.
They were right.
Yeah. But the Dreamcast did. I mean, it was kind of weird because Sega got to that fucking market first before Nintendo or Sony. Which Sony.
Well, there's a number of reasons why,
really,
of course.
I'm sure you get into it all.
And we'll, of course, get into it. But yeah, here's a little thing that CNN did back in, I think, 99, before the launch and release, the 999 release. So September 9th, 1999 is the day the Dreamcast was released in the U.S.
Gotcha.
A larger share of the market. CNN technology correspondent Rick Lockridge reports.
Hell yeah.
Video game industry, one word seems to be all powerful.
The graphics,
Graphics.
more realistic.
And embattled Sega's new Dreamcast video game console is graphically better. The first home unit able to handle 128 computer bits of.
And I just remember that was a big fucking selling point when I was a kid. It was like, it's Sega Dreamcast. Okay, you know, Super Nintendo 32 bits? Yeah. And on Nintendo 64, 64 bits.
Scotty.
What?
Super Nintendo is 16 bits.
Okay, whatever. I'm sorry, TJ.
Idiot.
Sorry,
Dumb.
TJ. You're right. You're right.
In fact,
Nintendo
Sega had the
64.
only 32-bit console, the 32X.
Yeah. It's like an
That is
add-on.
true.
It's like
Add-on to the Genesis.
Nintendo 64, TJ 64 bits. Sega Dreamcast, 128.
Whoa.
128 bits. What is a bit, TJ? What is a bit?
I don't know.
I don't fucking know what a bit is.
Idea.
I don't fucking know what a bit is, but I know it's better.
The more bits you have, the more graphics you have.
Yeah.
The
Fuck
more
yeah.
realer.
Bits, Mo graphics.
Yep. The more bits, the more realer your graphics look.
Wow.
Everybody knows that.
Everyone,
that's all you need to know. Better graphics. That's the only thing fucking people care about. Like, look, I don't give a shit. Is the graphics better? Yep. I want it.
Twice as much as the Sony PlayStation and Nintendo 64 machines that dominate
Yeah,
the
fuck them.
$12 billion a year U.S. video game market.
60
Garbage.
frames a second, which is twice the speed of a TV.
Hell yeah.
Graphics you've never seen before. When you watch a football game, it looks like you're watching a real game on TV.
Hyperbole much, dude.
Its last home console flopped, and it's seen its market share plummet from more than 50% to about 1%.
Oof.
So at this point, they're 1% of the market.
So yeah,
the
this really is
Dreamcast, yeah.
this really is a Hail Mary. Like maybe we got this. Okay. Nope.
Somehow.
Can Dreamcast end Sega's nightmare?
They have a lot banking on the Dreamcast. Again, they're a leap. It's sort of a leap in video game technology, and Sega's going to use this to make a comeback into the marketplace.
The $199 Dreamcast comes with
Aw.
It was a good price though. $199 for a launch price is pretty comparable to what people are
Sega
paying.
don't what Nintendo do.